And now you are looking live at the ring where moments ago in the dressing rooms a major controversy erupted. You're looking at a tape shot of Butch Lewis, the manager of Michael Spinks, who went wild after he discovered that Mike Tyson had had his hands taped and apparently had the gloves put on without a representative of Spinks' camp being in Tyson's dressing room.
It seems a little late to be yelling about that one. Why wasn't somebody in there when that happened? I don't know that they try to slip one past everybody. Nobody thinks that Mike Tyson has anything in his gloves besides his fists, but it is unusual.
Another look at Butch Lewis, apparently in a state of extreme agitation over the fact that Tyson's gloves were placed on his hands and the taping of Tyson's hands took place without a Spinks representative in the dressing room. For people who may be new to the sport of boxing, Ray, what would he fear?
Well, all they do is use excessive amount of tape. That's the problem, because that's illegal.
Left hook on the jaw of the great Hazard Charles.
There goes Larry Hazard as he makes his way now to the dressing rooms to try to clean things up. Tale of the tape and of age, of course. Spinks 10 years older, 3 inches taller, 6 pounds lighter, and with a 5-inch longer reach. Tyson is unlikely at any point in his career to face an opponent who has a shorter reach than he does. And in case, incidentally, we needed any more pre-fight controversy to deal with, I've just received information from the far side of the ring that Mrs. Tyson, Robin Givens Tyson, has apparently filed a lawsuit against Bill Caton and the management organization which has been managing Mike Tyson. No details yet, but it is our understanding now that a lawsuit has been filed today on behalf of Mrs. Tyson and those forces who want to separate Mike Tyson from that man.
That man is the last living member of the triumvirate, including Customato and Jimmy Jacobs, who raised and nurtured and developed and marketed Mike Tyson to a position where by the time he's 24 or 25, he will be the richest athlete in the history of the world if he keeps fighting and winning. But they want to break the contract.
Here comes the man who has been extremely loyal, some would say blindly so, to his manager, Butch Lewis.
Well, if it was blind, it sure paid off, because he's going to accept a big fat check with open eyes tonight.
For $13.5 million guaranteed, Michael Spinks begins about a 200-foot walk to a 20 by 20-foot ring. record for Michael Spinks. He hasn't lost a fight in 12 years.
Michael Spinks is a winner. He finds a way to win. Will he find the way tonight?
Often under unusual or trying circumstances. This crowd, Larry, has flattened out. It's going to take some action to get them back to the fever pitch, which we felt about 15 minutes ago.
Maybe Mr.
And
Tyson
now here
will
comes Mike
plug in
Tyson.
the electricity.
Structure of the place is such that the crowd takes a while to become aware of the fighter exiting the dressing room and coming in. And there you see a shot from behind the young champion as he and his entourage make their way. A much smaller group than the one which brought Spinks into the arena. And of course, as always, no shirt, no robe, no accoutrement. Like Michael Spinks, Mike Tyson is unbeaten as a professional fighter. The period of inactivity, 97 days, relatively brief for a heavyweight or for any pro.
A record of 34-0. And that doesn't count his recent bouts with his wife and his manager.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, once and for all, let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with black trim and weighing in at 212 1/4 pounds. He's originally from St. Louis, Missouri, now lives in Wilmington, Delaware. This Olympic gold medal champion has a professional record of 31 victories without a loss, 21 by knockout. He is the former undisputed and undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world and the only king of that division ever to win the heavyweight title in the history of boxing. Because he never lost that title in the ring, he is still recognized by many, including Boxing Illustrated and Ring Magazine, as the heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated man who brings the jinx, Michael Spinks. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks and weighing 218 1/4 pounds, originally from the streets of Brooklyn. He passed through the hometown of the late great trainer of champions, Customato, Catskill, New York, and he now lives in North New Jersey. His professional record, 34 consecutive victories with 30 knockouts, including 26 KOs in 5 rounds or less, and 15 in the first round alone. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undisputed, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
And Larry, as referee Frank Cappuccino begins to issue final instructions, Let me ask about one possibility.
Are there any
Well, listen to
questions
this.
by either of you? All right, both of you touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Could it be that this eerie atmosphere is what Butch Lewis wanted?
I don't think anybody is smart enough to figure how everybody would react to that. I do think that this fight will be decided by two things: how Michael Spinks can deal with the extreme pressure that Tyson puts on a fighter that can totally discombobulate a man who's used to setting his own tempo. And secondly, what happens when Tyson hits him? Because he figures to get hit in this fight somewhere harder than he's ever been hit before.
I see that Michael Spinks is a little tight. His legs are not as loose as they normally have been in the past. Now watch Tyson jump right into his chest. Michael Spinks getting a little movement. Keep those hands high. Very,
Spinks
very high.
stepping in.
All right, stop punching. Oh. Hey, Mike, knock it off, man. Knock it off.
Cappuccino already warning Mike about the elbows. Various opponents have complained that Tyson rocks them with elbows along the ropes in close.
You see the tactics used by Michael Spinks now. He's throwing his jab, but he has to keep those hands extremely high. Watch for the uppercuts too.
Tyson landed a left hand in close quarters, and now Cappuccino goes to work again. Tyson not afraid, as we expected, and Spinks ready to mix it up with him. Tyson along the ropes doing damage.
Michael Spinks has to keep moving because every shot. Oh,
Uppercut landed inside, and Spinks went down. It was the left uppercut.
I was surprised there was a body shot that put him to the canvas.
And that is the first time Michael Spinks has ever been down in a professional fight.
And he's down again and in serious trouble. A right hand right on the chin.
6, 7, 8.
He's not going to make it. It's all over. Now we know why Butch Lewis wasn't anxious for Michael Spinks to fight Mike Tyson in the unification series. What happened in that round was that Mike Spinks got hit, and his natural instinct as a champion and as a winner was to try to fight back instead of covering up. And because he wanted to fight back, he got knocked out.
There's a great deal of pandemonium in the ring now.
It lasted a minute and a half. There's a near riot taking place on the apron in front of us. Only now is it beginning to calm down.
The first time Michael Spinks has ever been knocked down throughout his career. We see Mike Tyson congratulate Michael Spinks, and Tyson trying to show some concern.
Please clear the ring. Clear the ring. Security, please clear the ring.
The pre-fight delay outlasted the fight by about 15 minutes.
I didn't expect Michael Spinks to go down from a body shot, but apparently the extra weight was a factor. I'll be interested to hear what Michael Spinks has to say. Michael Spinks started out pretty slow, and here we see Tyson, as usual, going to the body. A great uppercut that sent Michael Spinks to the canvas.
That was the second knockdown and the finishing blow. Watch again. This is after Spinks got up after one knockout, tried to fight back, and had nothing as Mike Tyson landed the right, the short right, to the jaw.
Here we have another angle, and that beautiful right uppercut caught him perfectly. It seemed to have caught him on the top of the forehead. And when his head went back and hit the canvas, it was all over.
Few fighters have ever thrown the uppercut with greater effect than this champion.
Another thing, Jim, is when a guy gets knocked down for the first time, you never know how he's going to react to that. When I was knocked down by Kevin Howard, I knew fully well to maintain my composure, clear my head, tie him up.
Official time, 1 minute, 31 seconds of the first round. And let's go now to Larry Merchant.
Mike, congratulations. Did you have any premonition that it would end this fast?
My trainer told me before I left, I bet both of our purses that you knock him out in the first round. So I thought he was serious, so just now he said he was lying. And so I went out and knocked him out in the first round.
It seemed to, what did you hurt him with? How did it start?
The first one was, I think it was a right hand on top of the head, but he took it well. And then I hit him with a short left hook. Remember the short left hook? It was a left uppercut that you told me to throw. Right. And then I threw a right hand to the body and he went down. And then from that punch, I think what it was the right hand off the head. It was like a right hook over top.
It seemed to me that when he was hurt, his instinct as a champion, instead of covering up and running, was to fight back, and that's why you finished him.
From what I know of human nature, there's only two things that he was capable of doing: either running or stinking it out, or come out and fighting. I knew either he'd be scared and come out fighting, and that's what I thought. Maybe he was a little jittery, so he came out fighting, giving it his best, hoping for a knockout or a cut or something, because he was fighting very furiously, as you noticed.
Mike didn't give him a chance to do anything else. After the first knockdown, he got right on him and worked the body and come after the head again. That's what knocked him out.
All right, what happened? What was all the delay about before? Do you think Michael just didn't want this to get here this quick?
Well, I think he was trying to scrutinize with my brain and make me wait it out. But, you know, I was getting upset. I wanted to go. I'm the kind of guy who just want to fight. Let's get in there and fight. I don't care who comes in first. We come in both at the same time. That's what we planned. We said we come on together. And so my main objective was to go out there. Like I said, my trainer told me the whole purse is better on one round. Now I come back to collect my money, and he said he was joking. He didn't make the bet.
But it's still a good payday.
All right, let's talk about the first knockdown. Describe it for me in your memory, because we don't have a monitor here right now.
Well, I can't remember it much because it was so quick, a right hand. But my main objective was to come out here and take him out.
With the right hand to the body. With the right hand to the body.
A left uppercut and a right to the body. My producer is telling me in my ear, is that what started the beginning of the end? Did you think there was any way he could deal not just with your punch, but with the pressure?
Well, can I tell you, as you noticed, I was moving more. I was coming out with my jab more. I took it right to him. You know what I mean? It was do or die I came into. You know, my prediction was either do or die. That's what we came out to do.
Was your perception of the fight that you're simply too strong for him?
I was just all around a better fighter than he is. You know what I mean? You could be strong, but the power doesn't have no value unless you have means of landing it on the target. And as you know, he's very elusive, and he was throwing punches and I was making him miss. And he didn't hit me with one punch. But no one says that, though. I'm just a slugger.
All right, now again in your memory, because we don't have a monitor, the finish. You're a great finisher. What went through your mind when you saw that he was hurt, and then you went in for the finish?
Well, I knew once I knew he was hurt, I knew all my punches were going to be precise and accurate pinpoint, and he wasn't going to survive the round.
It seems that you didn't get over anxious, you were patient, and that you knew that the end was near.
Before I came there, Duran came and visited me. You know what I mean? Duran is my #1 hero, Roberto Duran, and he told me, he said, this guy has made the order for you. You just relax, don't chase him. Just be calm and relax and punch to the body and throw combinations to the head. And that's what I plan to do, basically. But he knew the strategy, the way to fight him also.
There was some concern because of all of the domestic and managerial chaos before the fight that maybe you would get too anxious.
Well, like I say, I'm a professional, and whatever happens, the job has to be done.
Professional fight, that's how
Do you feel that this proves that, like most long-term champions who have problems outside the ring, that you've now put that aside, that you can show that these kinds of things are not going to undermine you?
Well, you know what I mean, like I said, I'm a businessman. When it comes to business, I love fighting. And I mean, regardless of the situations outside of me, we deal with those later. But as far as my career, you know what I mean, there's no fighter like me. I was reading today, there was some fighters in the papers quoting, I don't like Mike Tyson because he's too cocky and he's arrogant. But for all the fighters that said that, you know what I mean, I let them know, there's no fighter like me, and I can beat any man in the world.
What you have just seen was the 4th shortest heavyweight championship bout in history. Only Jeffries over Finnegan, Michael Oakes over Mike Weaver, Burns over Roche back in 1908 were shorter than the 1-minute, 31-second destruction you just saw by Mike Tyson, and it was simply a devastating performance. Your final reflection.
Awesome, that's all I can say. That body shot pretty much dictated what was going to take place in the later rounds, if it went any more rounds. Mike Tyson He's getting stronger. And the thing I was more impressed with is the fact that with all the distractions, with all the problems and the invasion of his personal life, he was able to block that thing out, those things out rather, and go on his mission to destroy Michael Spinks.
Which brings us to your final comment, Larry. Many people thought Michael Spinks was the one man who would have a chance to beat Mike Tyson. Tonight, Tyson took care of that.
Well, I've never believed that for a moment. Since 5 minutes after Mike Tyson destroyed Trevor Berbick and won the title at the age of 20, people were saying, well, who can beat this kid? And I, among others, have been saying the only one who can beat him is himself. If he is caught up in the glory of being a champion, if he's distracted, if he yields to too many temptations, and so on. So tonight, he not only defeated Michael Spinks, he defeated the only guy who could really defeat him, himself.